Coming up in the next countdown LBL. Coming up next video, title, nextVideo.description. Skip to this video now. Transcript for Deputy Attorney General depicts latest GOP critics as cowards. No way we operate the Department of Justice, and the way this administration operates is not a certain way you see caricatured in the media. That there's no doubt by anybody in the Department of Justice that we are complying with the rule of law. We are enforcing the priorities of the administration. There have been significant changes obviously in some of the department's priorities, but be applied in the way that's consistent with the rule of law. So I'm not gonna answer this in the context any current matters to you. Shouldn't draw any inference about it, but the Department of Justice has in the past, when the issue arose, has opined that sitting president cannot be indicted. As a lot of speculation media about this just opening hours, that's when the issue rose. Somebody in the department reached a legal conclusion, and that's what it's. Any reaction to the news that certain members of the House Freedom Caucus have talked about acting up articles of impeachment despite your best efforts to comply with their document request? They came to resist leaking their own drafts. I was all hell elaborate on that. I saw that. Perhaps I don't know who wrote it. It really does illustrate though really important principle of the rule of law and a distinction between the way we operate the department. We make mistakes. That's not to say we're flawless, but the way we operate the Department of Justice, if we can accuse somebody wrongdoing, we have to have admissible evidence, credible witnesses, prepared to prove our case in court, and we have to fix our signature to the charging. That's something that not everybody appreciates. Not a lot of talk about FIVE's applications, and many people that it's the talking about it seem not to recognize what its applicant files applications actually. A warrant, just like a search warrant. In order to get a FIVE's, the search warrant need an affidavit signed by career federal law enforcement officer who swears that the information affidavit is true and correct the best of his knowledge and belief. And that's the way we operate. If that's wrong, sometimes it is. If you find out listening incorrect and there, that person is gonna face consequences. Sometimes there are innocent errors, but if not, you can face discipline or potentially you could prosecution. So that's the way we operate. We have people who are accountable, and so I just on the news today about documents like that nobody has the courage to put their name on and that they leak in that way. But I can tell you that there were people who have been making threats privately and publicly against me for quite some time, and I think they should understand why now. The Department of Justice is not going to be stories. We're going to do what's required by the rule of law, and any kind of threats that anybody makes are not gonna affect the way we do our job. We have responsibility. This transcript has been automatically generated and may not be 100% accurate.